Somebody else needs it. And then, yeah. Okie cookie. Awesome. Right.
Cool.
Welcome to our little stretch. So, I want us to be sitting down first and foremost. So just whatever feels comfortable. You can have your legs out in front of you, whatever feels comfy. I'm going to be in cross legs. And we're just going to start with some breathing and some shoulder rotation. So as we breathe in, you're going to take your shoulders up next to your ears and next to your back. Take them back and down behind you, just put your shoulders together. So just lifting it up, exhaling it out. Lovely. Number 2. And out. Number 3. And release. And last one, number 4. And lovely. Taking it the other way. Still breathing in on the way up. And out. And up. And out. Last one. And down. I'm going to do 2 more going back the other way, lifting it up and taking it down at the back. Number 2. Opening it out. Lovely, just so we naturally open up our chest a little bit more. Lovely, and then we're just going to take our head from left to right, just nice and gently. And I want you to be breathing in when you breathe in to one side and out when you look to the other. So breathing in, out, in, and then take your head back to center. Take your ear down towards your shoulder, and then don't feel like there's an urge to lift your shoulder up to your ear, but try and just taking your ear gently down towards the shoulder without moving the shoulders. And you should just start to feel the tension coming in the opposite side of the neck, just feeling that little bit of tension starting to relax. And what I want you to do is take the opposite shoulder, so that hand, so if I'm leaning my head over towards my right shoulder, it's my left hand, I'm going to push down and away. So just like if you're pushing against the floor, you might even get a deeper stretch. You should just deepen the stretch in the neck. And then we're going to take the hand, so my right hand just places on top of my head. I don't need to put any pressure, I'm not pushing down, just like the hand enough to give it an extra bit of stretch. Lovely. Lifting off that hand and then lifting the head up, and then you're going to turn it slightly further down. So I want you to think about putting your nose in line with your nipple or towards your armpit. So we're just going to look down there, and again with your left hand pushing away, feeling the stretch coming slightly further to the back of the neck, and then lifting your right hand and just placing the hand on, just so it adds a little bit of weight. And more you push into the floor, you might even start to coming back up into the back of the head as well, where we might be getting headaches if we've got tension in our necks. Lovely. And then lifting that hand off and taking the head back up. Lovely. From here, we're going to switch our head over to the other side. So we're taking our ear over to the other side and then pushing with our right hand towards the floor. And just start to feel the stretch coming down the opposite side of the neck. Lovely. And then we're going to place our left hand on top of our head. And again, we're not pushing down, we're just using the weight of the hand to just add a little bit extra to the stretch. Just breathing, feeling tension around the neck. Lovely. Lifting the hand up, and then we're going to turn our head so that our nose is in line with the nipple or towards the armpit, looking down, and then place the hand back on. And you should feel the stretch coming from the side of the neck, coming around into the back of the neck a little bit more. And again, you can push down against the hand to stretch it out even more. Feeling any tension melting away. Lovely. Lifting the hand off and taking your head back up to normal. Good. Have a little roll of the shoulders if you need to, little wiggle. And then from here, we're going to go directly down. So our nose just comes straight down in front of us. And we're going to take both hands, interlink the fingers, and just place the hands on top of the head. Now from here, again, you don't need to push down, just the weight of your hands is enough. You should feel the stretch all down the back of the neck. And if you wish to, you can turn your head from side to side, just feeling where any tension is, You can hold it where you feel any tension. Just letting it melt away. Stretching out all the back of the neck. Lovely. Lifting the hands off and taking yourself back up to normal. So we've had a little bit of movement in our neck and our back. I'm just going to whack my hair up because it's getting on my nerves. Okay, so we're going to take yourself onto all fours. Around so that you're on your all fours. And you want to have your wrists so that they're directly underneath your shoulders and your knees so they're directly underneath your hips. So your knees are hip distance apart. And from here, we're going to start with curling the tailbone under. So tucking the pelvis down, then we round the back, then we round the top of the back and opening the shoulder blades and look down between the legs. Now we're pushing up, separating the shoulder blades and then looking the other way. So opening it out the other way, squeezing the shoulder blades together at the back. Tailbone is now pointing up, looking up to the side. Lovely. And then we're going to look down. Inhale. And up. And down. And up. And again, you can coordinate with this with your breathing. So we're exhaling as you come out. Rounding it over. And inhale. Squeezing the shoulder blades gently. Exhale. Inhale. Lovely. Good. And then from here, I want you to just roll your round the circle, taking it with you as well. Just feeling that stretch in any direction, feeling it in your hips, in your rib cage, and change direction other way. Getting that movement all in the back, in the spine. Lovely. Good. From here, we're going to tuck our toes under at the back, push into our hands, and take our butt underneath our feet, and then start to stretch out our legs. Don't worry if it doesn't go fully straight yet. And we're just going to bend one knee at a time, just to straighten out the back of the legs. So just stretching out. You're in your downward dog, but we're just stretching out the back of our legs. Lovely, good. And then from here, try to straighten your legs. You can soften the knees if you wish to, and you're going to push your armpits towards your toes. Lovely. If you can straighten out your legs, amazing. If you can get your feet down, your ankles to the floor, even better. But don't worry if not, we're not there yet. Just taking it nice and gently. Lovely. Oh, yes. Okay, we're going to pull ourselves forward so we're in our plank position. You might need to reshuffle this. So you've got a nice long neck and you're putting your shoulders back away from your ears. What I want to do is just twist ourselves over to the side. Now, if this is uncomfortable on your wrist, feel free to take it down into your elbow. But I want you to lift it up. So you're twisting yourself out. I want you to try and open yourself up. So opening the top arm out. Elbow on wrist is right underneath your shoulder. Reaching the hand up over the top. And then taking it back. I'm going to switch it over to the other side. So elbow goes down, twisting it over, or hand goes down to your hand, and lifting out the new hand. And you can open it all the way, feel a stretch all the way at the top of your chest. Lovely. And then taking it back. And open back to the other side, opening it up. And then back over to the other side. With the twist. Oh, just feeling that lovely twisty shape. Lovely. And then taking it back. And then take yourself down onto all fours. Lovely. Right here, I want you just reach your hands a little bit further forward. I want you to round your pelvis under and then sit it back. And just let yourself pushing your armpits down into your child's pose. I want you to really think about taking your tailbone to your down, try to get your tailbone to touch your toes. I'm going to take my jumper off because my shoulders down, but I'm also thinking about trying to get my tailbone down as well. Lovely, big breath here. Exhale it out. Good. We're going to take yourself back up to all fours. I'm going to do a stretch called thread the needle. And from here, we're going to take pick a hand. So I'm going to take up my left hand and spread it underneath that arm. I'm going to take it all the way down so that my ear comes to the floor, and then I'm stretching out this shoulder blade that's on the floor. So I can keep that hand there, and I should just be stretching out the shoulder blade. I can push against my back to make a deep stretch, pushing against the floor as well. Lovely. Pushing with this hand to lift yourself back up, and then as you come through, I want you to take it all the way up and opening it out to the other side. So we're opening the stretch. And then from here, I want you to do 3 circles with your arm. 1, nice big circles. 2, and 3. And then we're going to take it back through the arm, taking it back down to the shoulders and the ear to the floor. Lovely. You should feel a twist in the back a little bit here, but really thinking about separating the shoulder blades. That's where the key stretch you get is. Lovely. Take it up, get back, lift it up. Lovely. And then circle again. 1, 2, and 3. And take it one more time down and under. Lovely. Switch around to the other side. So we're going to take the opposite hand, threading it through, take your ear to your shoulder, and switch round so that you can still see and hear. So my ear comes to the shoulder, and I'm putting this shoulder down to the floor. I'm really separating the shoulder blade here. It feels like it's really stretching out. And we're going to take it up, open, open, nice big stretch across the chest, and then the circles around. So 1, 2, and 3. And then taking it through, bring the shoulder down. And then back up. Circles. 1, 2, and 3. And flip back 3. Lovely. Good. Lifting yourself back up. From here, I'm going to bring my hands forward again, but instead of dropping my butt back, I'm just going to push my chest to the floor. So I'm taking it into my puppy pose. So my chest is pushing down, but I'm leaving my hips up and my knees are in line with my hips still. You might not be able to get your chest to the floor, but that's where it's headed. Just feeling the stretch all across the upper shoulders. Really nice. And then taking yourself back into child's pose, just so that it's a little bit more gentle. And relax. Bringing the forehead to the floor. Just letting the muscles just reset themselves. Lovely. I want you to roll yourself over onto your butt and then take yourself onto a sitting position. And from here, I want you to hold onto your legs. You can hold underneath, whichever suits you best. And we're going to round out the back. So we're going to give like a little massage to our back, basically. And we're going to lean ourselves back, rounding the back, and then taking ourselves backwards and forward in a little roll. So hopefully you're on comfortable enough floor. You know, if you're on a wooden floor, then you might want to go have a mat or something. Just it acts as like a little massage for all of your back. I find this particularly helpful for my lower back. Just for me. Lovely, good. And then while we're here, we're going to do a slightly more static one. So we're going to lower ourselves down, but I want to lift our legs up and then round it over. So bringing our legs over on top of our head. And you should start to feel this stretching more in your lower back. Lovely. You can then just roll it back down and take it back up again. And just feeling where that stretch is, stretching you out the most. To make this more intense, you want to take all the way up, get your feet touching the ground. You can drop your knees down next to your face. And you should feel this stretch, all particularly in your lower back, but all down your back. But it just depends on how comfortable or how flexy this feels and how much of a stretch you need. Lovely. When you're ready, taking yourself back so that you haven't got your legs in front of your head, and taking yourself back onto just lying down with your knees ahead of you, knees facing up and your feet planted down. Now we're going to start with one leg. So lifting up, I'm going to start with my left leg. I'm going to lift up my leg and flex my foot so that my sole of my foot, or my fluffy socks anyway, are facing up to the sky. And I'm going to reach with the same hand onto the outside of the foot. Okay. From here, I'm going to take my knee slightly wider, and I should start to stretch my hip. I'm going to try and pull with my hand down with my knee and bring my knee as close to the floor as possible whilst trying to keep my hip. Did you notice then? I brought it down and my hip went up. So try and keep my hip in the right position, but I want to keep pulling it down so that my knee is right in my armpits. If I just roll over to the side, you should see my knees like cuddling into my armpits.
Yeah.
It's in your hip. The lovely hip opener one. Lovely. And if you wish to, give yourself a little foot rub while you're here. It's quite nice in this position. Just give my feet a little bit of attention. They've been holding my weight all this time. Great work, great work. Lovely. Lifting that leg back and bringing it back down so that it's back on the floor. And then lifting up our right leg. We're going to circle, take the outside, the same right hand, and sitting it on the outside of the foot. So just cooking it around like so. And again, we're going to pull that knee down, taking it in towards our armpit. Now, I know that this hip is more flexible for me, so I can take this all the way down with very little movement on my other hip, but that might not be the same for you. But I'm just breathing through it. And again, we can give a little massage of our feet because they're working so hard. Keep it upright.
I feel they stretch more on this side.
Do you? It's just just because of how tight one hip is, and we tend to hold tension a lot, and it's not always even. I find this one's easier than that one. That one, my left side's always more tight. Okay, good. Right, bringing that back down. Just have a little breath just here. Bringing it back to neutral. And then we're going to take the 2 feet together. So each one at a side is called half a happy baby, whereas this one together is a happy baby. So you're going to take up your legs, flex up your feet, bend the knees, hold on with the outside of your hands, and then do your best to pull your knees in towards your armpits. Lovely. And this is called happy baby, but I mean, what an adorable name. Just picture I can picture maybe 80 of this anyway. Big deep breath in here. Exhale it out. If you're feeling super, flexy, let's see if you can pull your knees all the way down to the floor. And then see what it's like side to side as well. And just enjoying this little bizarre position. It's so good for opening up the hips. Lovely. Breathing it in and out. And just feel like your breath is going directly to your hips. One more breath. And relax. Just bringing your feet back down and then take yourself back up. Actually, before we get up, I'm going to do one more stretch while I'm here. Just thought of it. I really wanted to do. So from here, we've got our knees facing up, our feet are planted on the floor. And what I want us to do is take our arms out to the side. So I'm going to take my flat to the side. And then I'm going to drop my knees to one side. And I should feel a stretch all across my thoracic spine. So I'm really opening up my chest. To intensify this stretch, you can look away from where your knees are. So you're twisting around the opposite way. Lovely. I want you to take your leg that's at the top. So if you're leaning over to your right hand side, it should be your left leg at the top. If you're leaning over to your left, it would be your right leg at the top. And I want you to take that slightly higher. So I'm like separating my knees, taking that leg slightly higher, and it should just intensify that stretch a little bit more. Lovely. Bringing the knees back together, and we're taking it back up onto the top, neutral, and then folding it to the side. I'm just going to reshuffle so I don't hit the plant. Lovely, good. So your knees are dropping over to the other side, and now I'm looking over to my other side. So I'm leaning my legs over to my left, so I'm looking over to my right. Lovely. And again, take the leg that's at the top and take it a little bit higher up. And you're just feeling that stretch a little bit deeper. You might not need the extra stretch. If you prefer keeping your legs together, that's also fine. Lovely. And then bring that knee back to join the other knee and taking it back up. Good. And then take yourself up to a seated position. Roll yourself onto your side and you reshuffle so you're down on your tummy. Maybe shuffle so much still on that. So we're lying down, hopefully you're nice and comfortable. And we're just going to do a little bit of a quad stretch as well. So we're going to lift up our leg, hold on to our foot. And then what I want you to think about is keeping your knees together and push your hip into the floor. So squeeze your butt cheek and push your hip into the floor, and then try and bring your ankle to your butt cheek as well. Perfect. This is stretching all the way to the quad and into the hip as well. Big stretch here. One more breath here. Lovely. Switch it over to the other side. So just lifting up the other leg, keeping your knees together, holding onto it and pushing your hip into the floor. So really squeezing our butt cheeks to push your hip down. Pelvis is tucking under and down. Holding your foot, trying to get your foot as close to your butt cheeks as possible. Big deep breath in here. Just feeling the stretch. Blimey, O'Reilly, this one's tighter than the other leg. Lovely. And release. Take your hands underneath the shoulders, pushing yourself up. And then take yourself over into a seated position for our last stretch. So bring down. Pick yourself up onto your butt, right onto your butt bones, so you're on your bony bits. I want you to take your knees down towards the floor as best you can, as well as lifting yourself up, pulling your chest up, lifting from the top of your head, pulling up. And then walking your hands a little bit further forward. You might be able to hold onto your feet to pull yourself down a little bit, and you should feel this in your hips. If you're super flexy, you might be able to get your forehead all the way to the floor. This stretch is not my forte. I don't go anywhere near the floor. But I know a lot of people, they find that fine. If I hold it for a long time, I get close. I get like maybe, I don't know, this far up. If you feel any discomfort in them hips, that's fine. That's just that tension starting to relax away. Pressure on the muscles. Lovely. And then taking yourself back up. I'm going to end with just sitting yourself comfortably, and we're going to continue with them shoulder rolls that we started with. So taking your shoulders up to your ears, breathing it in and down and out. Number 2. And down and out. And relax. Lovely. And we're ready to face the afternoon. So we're done.
Thank you, Becky.
You are welcome. I hope that's helped ease any tension in the neck, shoulders, back, hips, and maybe in the legs a little bit as well. Enjoy your afternoon.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care, darling.
Take care.
Stay strong. Bye.
Bye.